Hello guys, it is that panda guy. I'm here again with another video, and today it is me and Otis, the podcast duo out here, about to do another 10-minute, 9-minute video, whatever it is. But let's get into it. So today we are fighting DFA in this Pompeii, and we have fought them before on this channel, and I will give it to them. They are mostly a bunch of alts from my knowledge, right? But they did do. I mean, they did what they could, right? They didn't do insane, obviously. I mean, they were vastly outnumbered, vastly outmighted. And in general, this matchup was probably pretty unfair in their case. But we did end up just fighting them, and well, it is what it is. But, I think the big issue for them is they lack the numbers. They aren't, like I said, a lot of them are alts, and they have no actual, they don't have a ton of actual players. So the issue is, for example, with Prime, even though I run a bunch of alts, of course, the biggest thing I probably struggle with off the bat, or just in general, is trying to coordinate into these buildings and actually taking them right off the bat when I'm trying to get all my accounts onto the field, right? That's probably the same for this veteran guy, where he's doing that kind of stuff, and even his members are probably just slow, right? Like, they just aren't able to make it in time. And we actually beat them to their outer outpost before they got there, and took it before they even had a chance to hop into it, which was actually a first for me, because people have never not gotten there before we got there. But basically, we end up just coming over here, swarming these bases out. I don't actually go for helipad right off the bat, because I was actually hoping that someone would teleport in, and then I'd have another base to munch on, but it was whatever. I also will say that their big guy in DFA wasn't teleported on helipads, at least for a while. I think it took him until the later end, and he wasn't. You won't see him teleported up on that, left or right helipad, but he ends up teleporting in later. He should have teleported in earlier. Maybe he could have done something, or at least, gained some more points. I think all these guys really could have done was tried to hold on to one of their buildings longer, or just at least play garrison into one of these structures, even if it's a lesser structure. Maybe they could have earned some points, tried to fill it. I don't know. These guys could have tried anything here. I mean, of course, they honestly didn't have much of a chance here. Like, honestly, I don't want to make it sound like, I'm being just looking down on them. They aren't weak or anything. I mean, they were running out in the field like non-stop, but in general, they just don't have enough manpower to deal with us, and we would just swarm their marches down. We would swarm their bases down, trying to just eliminate them off the field as soon as possible. Honestly, I prefer going for bases, especially when people are marching around, because one, they're in a weaker state with their marches out. They have worse heroes on their wall probably, and then there's also just the fact that if you can just swarm their base, take it down as fast as possible, any extra troops they have, all gone. They only have the troops that are already on the field, and then the injuries that they're already taking on the field. So when those marches come home, you're just melting them, basically getting rid of any troops they can work with, unless they're just spamming through heals, because they're like that and they're crazy and they just don't care about their speed ups. But in general, it is usually the most efficient way for me to deal with bases. I usually try to avoid actually confronting them on the field, because if I just swarm their marches off the field here, they're just going to keep popping out. And a lot of these marches are, of course, the bases that are nearby, so this is the best time to just start swarming them out. You see like a gather hero on this dude in the bottom, like the bottom right, and dude, that is disgusting. You see this gather here on his wall, and then of course, like, a lot of these other people will have like Liam or just something, much weaker than they normally would have. So in general, it's just easier to melt these guys down, get rid of them faster, and get easy kill points in Pompeii. That's just how I am. I personally like just swarming these bases, but that's because I do have a vast amount of troops. In some other situations, this wouldn't work. Like, let's say, you're a much weaker alliance with much less field presence. In general, you should just focus on, obviously holding outposts and stuff. Avoid going for bases, because you just don't have the manpower to be kind of focusing on that, And we start teleporting up in helipad anyways. Either way, this video is kind of shorter because, they got pushed back to home zone, and they really couldn't do much, or sorry, starter zone. They just really couldn't do much off that, and they were just kind of stuck it with their fingers in their butts. I mean, what can you really do here? And you guys see me kind of recalling here, I'm refreshing my marches since I'm now nearby. Of course, I can't just do this with every account, since I'd basically have to march all the way across the map. Big tip, make sure you're refreshing those marches so your trades are better. Pretty easy, simple. Also, I swear, my freaking dog's just sucking it like that the soul out of my blankets right now. It's been distracting me, so if I sound a little bit less into it, that's probably why. I mean, honestly, I don't really think I have much to talk about in this video. A lot of the mistakes are relevant, obviously there, and you can kind of tell what the mistakes were. And honestly, when you really think about it, they didn't make a lot of mistakes. They just didn't have a chance to get into stuff. I mean, the most they could have done was maybe try to capture buildings faster. But all in all, they were kind of just overwhelmed. They just overrun. There weren't really mistakes I can mention here. Like I said, these guys were just put in a really bad spot. I mean, most they could do is just try to get as many points as possible and get out. Maybe hold a structure for as long as possible, get as many people defending it, and then just try to slither as many reinforcements. Maybe run a murder ball at said structure. We actually did this against Orc, and I did mention Orc in my other Pompeii, but we fight Orc, and I will show a video of that. But we actually held a structure for as long as possible because we got wiped. We got wiped off the map, and there was only one outpost we were holding. I was trying to wiggle as many marches in there, just hold it for as long as possible to get as many points. And I was actually trying to hit 10k points. We were a little bit short. Our alliance only hit like 9 point, I think 8k or something like that. It was a sad moment. Like, just let us hold our building just for a few seconds longer, but it is what it is. And the rest of the video is basically this. You're just gonna see, I guess, us getting a little few marches running out at us, giving us a few points. That is it, honestly. And then it's just gonna be reports. Honestly, this video is a little bit more lackluster. I hope you guys don't hate me for that. I do just try to get all these videos out. I think anything is interesting, and I mean, there's only so much I can upload, so I do try to make sure I have as much as possible I can put out there, because I know you guys honestly enjoy this, and I do enjoy making these videos, even if some of them are pretty stupid or goofy. But yeah, I think that might just be the end of the video for me, since the rest is reports, and you guys can just look at these reports. I do appreciate you guys, though, as always. It is a pleasure to do these videos, and you guys have an amazing day or night, though. And I hope you guys don't hate me, because I suck. I know I suck. But you guys just be awesome.